Did you know that? You can watch all fighting and boxing pay-per-view at no extra cost. On FluxVIX.com, you can access to 1,000 live channels plus The Last of Us. Movies and series at a fraction of the cost of regular services. For more information, go.
Joining me now is women's flyweight contender Erin Blanchfield, who just had a big fight announcement by UFC CEO Dana White on Thursday night. She will be fighting Manon Fiorot March 30th in Atlantic City at Boardwalk Hall. Erin, we've talked to you quite a bit in the last few months. I know you've been eager to get a fight. How excited are you to finally have a date? I know it's kind of the opponent that we expected, so maybe not so much of a surprise there, but how nice is it to just finally have a fight on the books?
It's really nice to have a fight on finally scheduled, especially close to home. It's in Atlantic City, so it's literally only a drive from me. That's what I'm super excited for. I'm excited to fight in my home state.
Yeah, and when did you find out about it? Like, we found out on Thursday. Was it around that time? Was it pretty, was there not a lot of leadway that you had before the announcement came?
Yeah, no, it was literally like Wednesday night. I think my manager texted me that he's like, oh, we should be able to get on that card. And he didn't even tell me for sure. He's like, oh, it looks like we should be able to get on that. And then the next day, Dana was posted about it, so I knew I was on it.
Yeah. And so when you heard they were going to Atlantic City, I'm assuming that you really wanted to be on that card, right? Like, you fought at MSG. I know that's not too far from where you grew up either, but being in the state of New Jersey, is that special for you?
Oh, it definitely is. I didn't know that they were doing that Atlantic City card till like pretty recent too. And then once I heard that, I was like, oh, I definitely want to get on that one. That caught my eye right away. Yeah, so I'm super pumped about getting on it.
Yeah. Do you know if it's a 5-round or 3-round fight yet, or are you guys still kind of figuring that out?
I don't know yet. I mean, I'm pushing. I want it to be a main event. 5 rounds. I'd love to fight 5 rounds. I feel like that fits my style really well. And prepping myself for like a title fight, I think going 5 rounds would be super beneficial. So I don't know for sure, but I'm gonna push for 5 rounds.
Yeah, and I guess how special would that be for you, right? Because maybe you can correct me. Would you consider this more of like a sort of a homecoming for you than the MSG card was? Like, I don't know all the dynamics of that area, but this would be kind of the Erin Blanchfield show at home, right?
I feel like it definitely would be. I mean, yeah, I mean, I have a lot of family in the city, and MSG was kind of just always a big goal for me. I mean, who wouldn't want to fight at MSG? So that was a huge goal. But fighting like in my home state, I mean, I was raised here, always went to school here, trained here my entire life in Jersey. So I think being a main event in Atlantic City would be so awesome. I feel like I'd bring a crowd too. I mean, everyone I know lives here, everyone I train with. So that would be super special. It'd be something to remember.
And for you, I think maybe with your division too, right? Like, that's probably one of the things that makes you stick out at 125 in the women's divisions too. I feel like there aren't necessarily a lot of fighters that are on the come up that people are very much supportive of. Oh, this should be a main event. This fight's worthy of it. But I feel like you've really differentiated yourself, and you've kind of had that buzz. So do you feel like the environment that night, if you guys are the main event, will be pretty special, will be pretty electric?
Oh, I definitely think so. I think it'd be awesome. I know like I got to fight at MSG, but I got booed a lot fighting there. I feel like fighting in Atlantic City, the crowd would definitely be on my side. I'm from the state. I'm a homegrown New Jersey fighter. So I feel like it would be pretty awesome.
We last talked to you right after your Singapore fight, right? The week when you had gotten home. And at that point in time, things were a lot different in the division. We kind of were waiting on the rematch between Alexa Grasso and Valentina Shevchenko. And you were saying, I think I'm going to get the winner. And then obviously they go out there, they have a draw, which I think was probably the worst case scenario for you in terms of getting that next title shot. So I guess kind of what was your takeaway from that? Was it disappointing to kind of be seeming like the next person in line and then ultimately have that happen? Kind of your thoughts on that the way things played out there.
Yeah, I was there for both the fights, actually. So seeing the second fight go to a draw, I knew that would be like worst case scenario for me for like timeline wise if I wanted to get a title shot next. But I mean, you never know what's going to happen in like the fight business in general. People get hurt or fights happen the way they did, and you have no idea. So I knew that would definitely probably stop me from getting a title shot next. But I mean, I'm gaining so much experience from all these fights. I feel like every girl I'm fighting is super tough, and it's only making me a better fighter. And I know when I get that title, I'll truly be a champ. I've went through like a gauntlet of people to go through. And yeah, I'm just gaining experience from each fight. And I feel like it's making me a better fighter. It's forcing me to improve. So, you know, I don't really mind it. I mean, I want to be a champ, so I'm going to have to fight the toughest people anyway.
Was there anything about that fight that surprised you other than it ending in a draw?
No, not really. I knew it was going to be a super competitive fight. I mean, I could tell from the last one that they both, I felt like Valentina was winning the first one, but then Alexa came back and finished her. So I knew that they were pretty equal, I feel like, in skill. And when you're that close and they're that equal, the fight, it could be hard to win or hard to like make something happen. So it going to a draw, I mean, it's surprising in the moment, but looking back, I'm not that surprised.
Yeah. Have you heard any sort of timeline from the UFC about the title picture? Like, I know sometimes with contenders, they might tell you ahead of time, like, this is a title eliminator, or this is what we're kind of planning. Have you heard anything about that? Like, have they told you guys that the winner of this will get a shot? And then also, have you heard anything about, I guess, where the division's at, when that other rematch could happen, the trilogy?
Yeah. I mean, they haven't told me, like this is a number one contender fight or anything like that. But I mean, you can tell it probably is. I feel like my last couple fights have been like a number one contender fight. I think that they were trying to do the rematch. Well, I guess the trilogy, for February, but I don't know. That's all. That's like the last thing I heard. I don't really know what the plan still is, how they're recovering from like their injuries and stuff like that. So yeah, as far as that's as much as I know.
And you mentioned it. It's almost felt like there's been a couple of number one contender fights for you, and from Minoan as well. Like, I think you guys, it's on one hand it stinks because it seems like you guys are having to fight maybe extra or more times than you would have if this was the division a year ago, right? But on the other hand, it does have a lot of hype, a lot of build. Like, there was talk about you guys maybe fighting in France before she got paired with Rose and you got paired with Talia. So for you, I guess now that she's been on your radar for a while, you guys have mentioned each other in interviews before. Can you just talk to me about what you think of her as a fighter, what you think of this fight, and I guess kind of what fans should expect to see out of you guys on March 30th?
Yeah, I mean, I really, I mean, she's a great fighter too. I feel like she's the only other girl that people think deserves a title shot too. I feel like it's me and her have been kind of neck and neck winning fights. I think we have like about the same amount of wins or something like that. So yeah, I'm really excited to honestly just go and prove myself as the next title contender. Yeah, I have no problem going and doing that. I know that maybe it takes a couple extra fights, but proving that there's nobody else that deserves that title shot more than me is something I'm excited to do. And I'm looking for a finish March 30th.
And I'm sure you're keeping a close eye on the fight between her and Rose. I guess, what'd you think of it? Were you impressed at all with her performance? What kind of challenge do you feel like you're up against, having seen that fight and kind of seeing the most recent version of her?
Yeah, you know, I mean, she's like a lanky kickboxer. I know she was a professional kickboxer before fighting MMA. And I feel like she's used that to her advantage in pretty much all her fights. You know, I feel like with Rose, she kind of kept her at distance. Rose was having a hard time closing the distance. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything too crazy dynamic about her game. I mean, she's decently well-rounded, but she's going to look to, I think, use her striking, you know, to keep me away. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of the majority of her style. You know, she's a little older. I feel like she's going to rely on what she already feels like she's good at.
We hear the striker versus grappler thing a lot in MMA, and sometimes, you know, I ask fighters that question, and they say, "Well, this is an MMA fight. You know, everybody's well-rounded. We got to be ready everywhere." But for you, do you feel like this fight is that like is that an accurate representation of what's going on here? Like, I mean, you're going to want to take this down. She's going to want to keep it standing, or do you feel pretty comfortable regardless of where the fight goes?
Yeah, I mean, I feel comfortable regardless where the fight goes. I mean, yeah, I'm a grappler. I feel like I grew up doing a lot of grappling. Yeah, it fits my like body type, but I've been fighting MMA since I was 18. I feel like I'm super well-rounded, and I know I can win a fight anywhere, and use all my skills to my advantage. So yeah, I'm excited to show off all my skills on March 30th.
We've talked about it before, but kind of the youngest female champion whole storyline, right? I mean, you've always said like that would be cool, but I'm trying to get to the belt. I'm just trying to be champion. But now that we're getting kind of closer to that deadline and it seems like it could be achievable, is that something that you're going to push for at all just because it is in front of you that you could do something like that?
I mean, I would love to. I feel like I definitely have the ability to do that. I'm not sure exactly what the timeline would have to be. And it also, I guess, depends on when Valentina and Grasso fight again, if they fight again, like kind of what's going on with who has the title. But becoming the youngest female champ would definitely be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess going along with that, 2024, do you feel like this is going to be kind of a pretty massive year for you? You're already starting off with a contender fight, maybe a headliner. So do you think this is the year that things finally do tip in your favor? Do you feel like this will be the year that we see you, be named champion for the first time?
It definitely could be. Yeah, I'm really excited for March 30th, and I would have put all like my focus and energy into that. But it is super early into the year, so after winning that fight, you don't know what happens. I feel like I definitely should get a title shot next, and if I do, I'll definitely be champ by the end of the year.
And I got to ask you too. I know your teammate Fatima Klein's getting a lot of hype from us, from other outlets, a lot of attention. A lot of people are asking, online, trying to wonder why she isn't signed. Is that something that you're hoping for? Maybe that you guys will be able to share this card together, and that she'll be be able to go in there and have her first UFC fight the same time that you have a massive fight like the one against Minot?
Yeah, I think that would be super awesome. We've talked about that a bunch. She can definitely. I mean, I'm surprised she hasn't been signed already. Having her debut March 30th, the same card that I am in Atlantic City. Her family's all like around here. My family's all around here. That'd be awesome. It's something I think the UFC should definitely do. I think it'd be smart to do.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to your fight. Hopefully she's on that card as well, because she's earned it. Erin, super appreciate the time. Congrats on having another fight booking, and good luck with camp.
Yeah, thank you.
Did you know that? You can watch all fighting and boxing pay-per-view at no extra cost. On FluxVIX.com, you can access to 1,000 live channels plus the last movies and series at a fraction of the cost of regular services. For more information, go to FluxVIX.com or scan the QR code on the screen.
Co-main event bout, pretty big opportunity here. How are you feeling ahead of this fight?
I'm feeling great. I'm super excited. It's nice to have a quick turnaround and be back here and be on a co-main event spot.
Yeah, and you're on quite a streak, a four fight win streak, potentially 5 on Saturday. What does this what does victory could mean here? Like, are we talking about title shot, title contention? Like, what are you thinking you're fighting for on Saturday?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a possibility. You know, I have been chasing that rematch. Obviously, that's something that I want back from Alexa Grasso. Whether that's, the next fight or the fight after, because I know that, obviously Valentina probably wants her shot back, and so that has to happen. But whether Alexa has the title or not, I still want a rematch with her. So the 5-fight win streak means a ton, obviously. No one wants to have a win streak and then go on a losing streak. So I'm planning on continuing the 4-fight win streak and turning it into a 5.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking about your opponent, I want to ask you about Alexa in a minute, but speaking about Amanda, she's fluctuated between 115 and 125. She's had some mixed results. Overall, what have you made of her 125 venture? Do you think it's been successful? Do you feel like she's looked good? Overall, what are your thoughts on her at 125?
I don't know, because I've fought at 115 as well. I moved up to 25 for health reasons, and I think that for me, I really enjoyed that move up. But I also feel like this could be the fight where I solidify the idea of going back down to 115. I know that I've heard that she is thinking about going back down, so I think this fight would really just make that answer in her mind of what she wants to do.
Have you gotten to see her at all? I know we're early in fight week, but have you seen her in person? No?
No, I haven't.
Okay. And I wanted to ask you also about just Amanda. Obviously, 4-fight win streak. Did you feel like this was an appropriate next step after defeating Andrea Lee?
Yeah, I mean, I talked with Mick, and I wanted a quick turnaround, and this is who was available, and it made sense. I talked to the coaches, of course, and it made sense. Obviously, we got back into camp and put in the work, and now we're here. I also think it makes sense from like the ranking standpoint. I'm 11, she's number 9. I think that's a good step, and just continue to work my way back up.
Yeah, and just real quick, Alexa, on the UFC official ranking, she's now pound for pound on the female rankings is number 1, obviously with Amanda Nunes retiring. Just your reaction to that? Do you feel like it was merited? What are your thoughts on a champion in your weight class being pound for pound number 1 right now?
I think it's great. It is cool to see other women have success, and especially all the girls that I've fought. The better they do, the better it continues to look on not just me, but on them too. And I'm happy for her. At the end of the day, I want to see every woman and everybody have their chance at achieving their dreams and their goals. And I know that mine will come. So I'm happy for her, but at the same time, I'm out here working to come and claim that.
Lastly, do you hope in a way that she beats Valentina in the rematch so that there's no trilogy or anything like that, and that you get to have a chance at a rematch and also for a championship belt?
Yes and no. I feel like I'm going to control the things that I can control, and that's going out and winning over Amanda, and then continuing to train and get better and evolve so that when my time comes, I'm ready. And whatever happens, happens. I think it would be cool to see a new champ in there. So for Alexa to continue to win, I think that would be awesome. But at the same time, she's got a tough fight in with Valentina. That isn't just like an easy out. Valentina was the champ for so long for a reason, and I think it's an exciting fight to see the second one. I don't know if I want to watch the same fight 3 times, but seeing the rematch would be good for sure.
Maycee, just a quick one from me. Obviously, Amanda Nunes just retired. She's considered the greatest of all time amongst the women by many. Do you have any thoughts on her retirement? Was she an inspiration to you, and what do you think about her walking away?
Yeah, I think anyone who is as dominant as she was for so long has to be an inspiration to all the fighters, especially females. She's done so much for the sport and for women, just achieving amazing things and being a double champ, and she's done so much. I think the only thing that I didn't like was how much Juliana was talking crap. That was the only thing that I was just like, that's just cringy. But that was probably the only thing that I thought about the retirement that I didn't like. And I wish Amanda all the success in the world and the happiness. She's got a family with Nina, and it's really cool to see that. So good for her.
So that's not something we could ever expect from you, to threaten to storm the cage during someone's retirement speech?
I think that was very stupid. Yeah, I just think that, you never know what's going on in someone's life. And if she wanted to call it done, she called it done. And, who's to say that you can't retire, I think that if Amanda hadn't retired and she fought Juliana, I think that Juliana got out very easy on that, at having the shot at keeping that belt.
Maycee back here. I saw Corey McKenna got her rollerblades. Did she make it through your camp this time without a concussion? Can you confirm that?
Yeah, actually, I didn't train with her as much this camp. She's been, she has a lot of health things that she has to deal with on her own, and she's out training, getting married. She actually got married yesterday, so yeah, she was good this camp. I didn't hurt her at all.
And then what's the relationship like between you and Mike Malott? I see you guys kind of supporting each other on Instagram. I know he was a big presence at Alpha Male. And what did you think about his performance in Vancouver a couple weeks ago?
I think his performance was incredible. He's a fun fighter to watch. He's definitely an inspiration. He works really hard. I haven't gotten to see him in a little bit of time, because he does spend a lot of time training in Canada. But he's part of the Team Alpha Male team, and when he does come out and train, it's you know that he's in the room because his presence is there, and he's someone that's very inspiring to train alongside.
Maycee, do you get out after fight night in town? I talked to Josh last week, and he said, I like going out and seeing what wineries are in town and good food and fine dining. Do you get out in the areas that you fight in and see the best take in the area?
Yeah, I like to see the area. I'm not necessarily a party person, but I'm down for whatever. I do like to go and experience the city and the places that I get to fight. It's been a very cool thing to be able to fight Boston, Nashville, Jacksonville. So when COVID hit, it was kind of sucked because we didn't get to go and experience the fans and the town and just the environment and take it all in. So I'm very happy to be here, and yes, I do like to go out and experience the places that I fight.
Did you know that? You can watch all fighting and boxing pay-per-view at no extra cost. On FluxVIX.com, you can and access to 1,000 live channels plus The Last of Us. Movies and series at a fraction of the cost of regular services. For more information, go to FluxVIX.com or scan the QR code on the screen.